Welcome to the Queen vs. King podcast. Ladies first, please introduce yourself.
What's going on, world? I am your girl Sensei. It's so good to be back with my good bro, money making Mitch, man. We missed y'all just as much as y'all missed us. To understand, like it's a mutual understanding between us. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's good to see you, bro. How you living?
We are living where it's warm. We are living with
Yes,
coyotes.
yes,
We are living far away from a beam in the sky. I mean, I see
yes.
I see plenty of weird alien beams, but
hmm
it's not
It
like
don't
that golden
compare.
one
Yeah,
beam. And no, and if you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't want to know. That's your loss. You
you're
already
bad.
know it's fam shit to the grave. It's great to
Yes,
have you
indeed.
on, Sensei. And my name is Mitch. You can call me Money Making Mitch. And we are Queen vs. King. We're ready to talk about some basketball
Yes.
free agency. So before we went on,
Mhm.
I sent you a quick text asking, all right, who has had the best offseason so far in your
Mhm.
opinion? And you gave me three teams. And
Mhm.
so I just wanted to pick your brain on why you said these three teams, if you may share it with the
Yeah.
audience.
No problem. So I said Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio. I'm gonna start with Houston. Obviously, we all know the big rumor they got KD. Like anytime you bring a player like KD into your franchise, walking at least 27, 28 points a game every single night. Like you obviously have an advantage every single night. So I think Houston got better. They still got a young core around them, and then they got a veteran presence as well with KD, who's experienced. He's won. He's gone through the trenches. Like he's gone through the gauntlet, if you will, as far as with the playoffs and being in the Western Conference. So they got a major upgrade bringing him in there. And I know he's older. He's I think 36 going on 37, but still that is still Kevin Durant. Like let's not act like KD is not still KD. Like even in Phoenix when they were having their worst year, he wasn't really they weren't winning how we expected them to. KD was still KD. So I think Houston upgraded with getting him. Also obviously Dallas. They got Kyrie who he's out with an Achilles, but they'll get him back at some point in the season. They got AD. They're gonna get Cooper Flag. They still have PJ Washington, which is a veteran role on that team, and he still provides scoring and shooting for them. They can still space the floor and things like that. And like I said, once they get Kyrie back, it's I mean it's gonna look good. And then you got San Antonio, you got Wimby. He out here on a spiritual journey. So who's to tell what he gonna come back? He gonna come back doing. He might get on his Tim Duncan and just bully the whole league. They
That's
got De'Aaron.
scary.
That's
The
scary.
league
Like
should
we
be
can
scared that he's doing stuff
should
like that in the offseason,
listen. Should
playing
be in
chess.
playing chess while the league is playing checkers. They should be very afraid because this is a young guy, and this is why I like Wimby because this is a young guy who is focused on. He's focused on the focus. Like the main thing is the main thing. Like he's not out here trying to be social media famous. He's not out here trying to be seen. He's locked in. It's he went on his journey. He's in the gym. He's doing this. Like he's focused. So this will be year three of Wimby or year two. I
This is
think it's year three,
year,
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is year three of Wimby. So he's gone through all the rookie stuff. He had with his sophomore year had his sophomore slump. Now this is year three. This is veteran. I know I've seen how this league goes. I know what to expect. I know what franchise I'm playing for. And also, unfortunately, he got De'Aaron Fox, who's been in the league for a while. He was the former Sacramento King. I know I didn't want to bring it up, but I have to because De'Aaron has seen the worst of the worst and the best of the best. So you pair that with somebody like Wimby, and they probably got some other moves in their bag. I heard that they're trying to shoot a little package deal for Giannis, which that would be scary. But I don't know if that's gonna happen. But I'm just saying there's something that's out in the world. So San Antonio as well as another team to watch out for because they could be making some moves. But yeah, those are the three teams. Like that Texas little triangle is gonna be a nightmare for the Western Conference. That's how I feel.
Well said. Couple things.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, the De'Aaron Fox seen the worst. Nothing further to say on that. We know too much about that.
We know it. We know too much.
um, hopefully he's happy and his family's happy in San
Yes,
Antonio.
yes, indeed, yes, indeed. Yes,
So
indeed.
I feel like with Wemby's journey, his spiritual journey this
Mm-hmm.
offseason, like other teams should follow suit. Like with the
Mm-hmm.
Pelicans with Zion,
Mm-hmm.
hey man, you
Mm-hmm.
got to do something like this. Get
Something. Yeah.
focused, get your
Mm-hmm.
body re-energized, get your mind reset. I think it's a great idea, and yeah, the league should be scared that dude is willing
Yeah.
to take
Mm-hmm.
trips on the other side of the country, spiritually get his mind right. He's gonna come back. So the Rockets also signed Dorian Finney-Smith. They stole him
Mm-hmm.
away from the
Yep.
Lakers,
Yep.
and that is
Yes.
such a key
Yes.
addition. That's more
Yes. Mm-hmm.
size. That's another
Mm-hmm.
veteran presence.
Mm-hmm.
That's a
Mm-hmm.
dude
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna be in the corner. You leave him
Yep.
open, that's a three. I
They're three
mean,
and D, three and
yeah,
D,
yeah.
and real quick, people underrate the position of 3 and D, because 3 and D, if you're not a star player, that keeps you in the league. Yeah, you might go to multiple teams, but you are always going to get it back. If you can master being a 3 and D guy, that
Yeah.
is such an important and pivotal part of a successful championship team.
Absolutely. And that's what we're seeing with the trend of the league. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
in our
Mm-hmm.
lifetime, it's been the guard, the small guard that's
Yeah.
shoot
Mm-hmm.
threes, or the big
Mm-hmm.
man that's
Mm-hmm.
dominating like Shaq.
Yeah.
Now we're
Yep.
in the trend of you got to be a 3 and D guy. You got to shoot that
Mm-hmm.
rock
Yes.
around the
Mm-hmm.
40% from beyond the
Mm-hmm.
arc, and then you got to lock up.
If it's coming to a team where it's like who had the best offseason, you got to throw Dallas in there, because the whatever for whatever reason the basketball guys were on their side.
Three Western Conference teams, which is not shocking on your side of the list. The Western Conference
Mm-hmm.
is just on another level compared to the Eastern Conference. One more
Mm-hmm.
thing to add on that subject, I think the Denver Nuggets has to get thrown in that category too, because they
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
took
yeah.
this
Yep,
offseason
yep.
seriously. And they were like, let's surround our MVP, our arguably number one player in the league right now, with tools. And what a
Mm-hmm.
concept, because that's how they won their last championship. They traded the Michael Porter
Yeah,
Jr.
yeah.
contract. They're off that. They brought back Bruce Brown. They just traded
Mm-hmm.
Valanciunas, which is the
Mm-hmm.
perfect backup center
Mm-hmm.
for Mr. Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
So
To Jokic, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
think
Denver also, I was
Rockets,
gonna do Denver too.
yeah.
I only pick 3 teams, but yeah, you absolutely have to throw Denver in there, because they've made some excellent moves to help out Jokic, help out their score, like their backup scoring, like having a bench and things like that. I just hope that the coach they have can properly put that in place, because that's the thing that people don't also realize. You gotta have good coaching to make that make situations like that work, because you can have all that and still fumble it.
Yep. And Jokic having his IQ is also extremely helpful. Even if it was
Hmm.
rookie coaches like you and me in there, we'd figure it
Hmm.
out because
Hmm.
Jokic is just
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. 1,000%. Yep.
he's that Jimmy Neutron brain blast type of
Yeah.
IQ
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
not a lot of players can match. Let's get to some
Hmm.
free agency real quickly about the
Let's go.
former champs who we didn't even mention. Thunder, who? SGA, they signed Mr. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 4 years, $285 million.
Hmm.
And the highest point of that
Hmm.
contract, I believe in his third year of that, will get paid 78 million. And that is a record. We're getting closer to someone at
Hmm.
some point in our lifetime for sure.
Get it. Yeah.
100
Hmm.
mil a year. Don't know
Yeah.
who.
Yeah. It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah. So with the Thunder winning and then SGA getting that contract extension, deservedly so. Do you see the Thunder? Obviously, they will be favorites next year, considering the youth
Hmm.
movement, how young they are.
Yeah.
But do you
Yeah.
see them, especially with the teams in the Western Conference, improving how tough it is, like being realistic repeat champions?
No, if they don't make some moves. They
Some
have to
more
make some moves,
moves.
because they have to make some more moves, because I feel like them being young is not enough. How the league is now, it's very hard to repeat as champions, because the league is constantly moving and changing, especially like big stars are being traded, being waived, or in free agency, and they looking abroad. Like the Thunder are, they're gonna have to bring someone along with Shea, or if they're gonna keep the team as currently constructed, somebody else is gonna have to step up and be a superstar. It's not gonna be enough to just be a role player anymore. Like somebody's gonna have to be a superstar because you look at what Dallas has done, you look at what Houston has done, you look at what, like you just said, Denver has done. They've all made improvements. So and they're all improving off based off of seeing how OKC plays.
Yep.
And let's keep it 1,000%. OKC went to Game 7 in the NBA Finals against a Pacers team who everybody thought was inferior. Now, what would have happened if had Tyrese Halliburton not towards
You know
Achilles?
what would have happened. We all kind of
You know what I'm
know.
saying? Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that they would have won because it still could have ended how it ended. However, he could have made a case to put pressure and make it real uncomfortable for OKC. That's all I'm saying. So if people are already seeing that and saying there's chink in the armor. So if there's
Yeah.
already chink in the armor, you gotta make, if you don't make it stronger, or if it doesn't get stronger on its own, that's treacherous waters, man. It's treacherous
Yeah.
waters, man. You feel me?
I I think, one of the things we learned this year is that nobody's untradeable. You can't
Yeah.
you
Nope.
cannot tell me
Nobody's safe.
otherwise. We're all going to
Mm-hmm.
remember where we were when that Luka trade happened because that just
Yeah.
immediately set a
Yes.
bar. Nobody,
Yes.
especially with this
Yes.
new
Nobody's
CBA
safe. Yeah.
agreements,
Mm-hmm.
all of this
Mm-hmm.
stuff,
Mm-hmm.
nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So SGA, congrats on your new contract. Chet Holmgren,
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, they got to rise to
Mm-hmm.
another level. To your
Yeah.
point,
They have
they
to.
come.
Yeah.
Nuggets, here they
Mm-hmm.
come. Spurs, here they come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mavericks, Rockets, Wolves
Mm-hmm.
still. I mean, they're all
Yeah.
they're all
I
coming
mean,
for
because yeah, the Timberwolves ain't going nowhere.
them.
You know
No.
what I'm saying? They can make some, like anybody can make moves at this point. And like I said, so they either have to take that next step or they gotta make some moves right now and hope it's for the best because yeah, everybody's gonna be gunning for them. Everybody's gonna be gunning for them. So they gotta
And
be ready for that.
If the Warriors sign Al Horford, look out. No.
Yeah, yeah, no. If the Warriors don't get Giannis, can the Warriors put a can in it and just enjoy Steph's last few years because they ain't no more
And
championships.
you're
Ain't no more championships.
you had such an Instagram rant about Jimmy Butler not showing up and the Warriors lose. And that was so entertaining. You tagged like everybody. You kept receipts. It's like love to see
Yes,
it. Love to see
you
it.
have
That
to.
was
You have to because with Warrior fans, sometimes they get a little amnesia. You got to remind them. Got to put them back in their place a little bit sometimes.
oh yeah. You got to put them in their place. Uh,
Yeah.
Jaren Jackson Jr.
Hmm.
He signed 5-year extension with the Grizzlies. He's getting a
Hmm.
lot of money. Grizzlies
Yeah.
traded Desmond Bain. There's rumors
Hmm.
about the Ja Morant. Is he staying? Is he going? Memphis
Hmm.
fired their coach a couple games
Hmm.
before the playoffs starts. Uh,
Crazy.
so the Magic improved with that Desmond Bain trade. They're now a top four team
Yes. Yes.
in the East,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
the West, as we mentioned, is just levels
Hmm.
ahead of the East.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
what are the Grizzlies doing? Are they putting themselves in a position to potentially like make a trade to bring some more help in for Ja and Jaren Jackson, or do you see Ja being shipped out?
I think my hope is that Memphis is doing all this to bring more help for Ja because I feel like Ja and the Grizzlies are a perfect match. He matches their energy, he
Yeah,
matches their fire, he matches that grit, he matches that swag. He
that
he you know
city.
he's cocky, he's both that shit. Like he
Mhm.
embodies what a Memphis Grizzly player is supposed to be. So my hope is that they're trying to bring in more help for him. What I fear is though is because of the antics and everything else, they might be like, look, we already have the reputation because Memphis is Memphis. If you know about Memphis, then you know they already have a reputation of that city and kind of how they get down. So it's just like the last thing we need, like our only saving grace is having the Grizzlies. we need it to be positive. We need it to be, you know what I'm saying? So it's like the last thing we need is somebody acting up and doing the things that Ja has done. Not holding anything against Ja because he's still a very young man. But at
Yep.
the same time, the NBA is a business and you are you are employed by said business. So you need to abide by said business rules. And he hasn't done that up until this point. So again, like I said, my hope is that that's what they're doing. But if they go into another direction, I wouldn't be surprised. And if he decides to go into another direction because of the direction they may be going in, I'm not surprised with that either because Ja is a generational talent. He's been injured the last 2 or so years, so we haven't got to see the Ja that we're accustomed to. But at the same time, Ja at his apex, where he's fully healthy, is box office. And
Big time.
he's big time. He plays for a small city NBA team. So if he decides to look, I'm trying to take this thing somewhere else, you know what I mean? Like I'm just kind of indifferent, I guess, when it
You
comes to
run
that.
the risk of your franchise being irrelevant again. And as
Exactly,
you and
exactly,
I know very well
exactly.
about small market teams
Mhm,
and
mhm,
how,
mhm.
they get a cold shoulder because, that's just it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Mhm,
so if the Grizzlies are going to trade away, arguably, I mean, Zach Randolph in his prime is probably the greatest franchise Grizzly player of all time. So
yeah,
Ja
but
can
yeah,
elevate,
yeah.
and
Ja,
he doesn't have the
mhm.
popularity, the following,
Yeah. Mhm,
as any
mhm.
Grizzly Memphis has had in our
Yeah,
lifetime.
yeah, yes,
So
yes.
2 seasons ago, the Grizzlies were the 2 seed and the Kings were the three
Mhm.
seed. And
Mhm.
if both teams don't play their cards right, they're both really going to miss the playoffs this upcoming
Mm-hmm.
season. That's
Yep.
where I've landed the plane.
Absolutely.
So let's see what
Absolutely.
happens.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about your boy, Mr.
Let's
Goat
talk about him.
himself, depending on,
Go
where you
James.
have him. Your Goat,
My
Mr.
goat. My guy.
LeBron
Yes, sir. Yes,
exercised
sir.
his option. He picked up his
Mm-hmm.
$52.6 million player option with the Lakers. Now,
Mm-hmm.
there's been I want to say it's split 50-50 just from, the media, the
Mm-hmm.
fans. Uh
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
LeBron, great. Get your money. You got to do it while you've made revenue for this
Mm-hmm.
NBA team. You
Mm-hmm.
deserve
Mm-hmm.
every piece of change, rightfully so. The
Yes.
other voice,
Yes.
dog, you're being selfish, man. If you're really about
Mm-hmm.
winning, you then take the
Yeah.
pay cut because you've made enough money outside the NBA. Why aren't you, opening the wallet to help the Lakers bring in more people? So I just wanted to pick your
Mm-hmm.
brain on how you see it, and did LeBron make the right decision in your mind?
So here's my thing. My pushback to the very last point that she made is because let's look at Lakers post their last championship was 2010.
Post bubble? Are we not counting the
Oh
bubble?
well, no. Oh no, no. Well, okay. So yeah, before the bubble. So I'm gonna say their last championship before the bubble was 2010, right?
Yeah.
And up until that point, Kobe had taken pay cut. I mean, after that point, Kobe had taken pay cut after pay cut after pay cut after pay cut, and then it got to like where he was in his latter years, where he was like, you know what, f the pay cut, pay me what I've been owed
That's
because
right.
I took pay cut after pay cut after pay cut after pay cut, and I still was not a championship I was not on a championship contending team post 2010 because 11 they got swept, 12 they got swept, and then from that point I'm not sure they made the playoffs again until LeBron arrived in what was that 2018
19.
2019.
He arrived in
I think it was,
2018. Yep, yep.
yeah. So there he arrived in 2018. From so that we're talking 2010 to 2018 with nothing, with
Irrelevant.
nothing. With irrelevancy, with one of the highest paying franchises in the entire NBA, the Lakers, with nothing. So I'm also looking at the league how it is now. These owners, they don't got no loyalty to these players. Like all
No.
that taking a pay cut, you're just saving them money. They don't give a damn because if they want to waive you, if they want to trade you, if it's within your contract, they will get rid of you. So I'm not mad at Braun for saying, F it, give me my money because at this point he's 40 going on 41. what exactly are we talking? Like, you know what you signed up for, you know what you're into. Like, I'm not taking less money for you to still play in my face
Yeah.
because y'all he's been screaming for the last 3 4 years. We need a true center. We need a true center. We need a true center. They've done everything but give him that true center. Everything but even when AD was there, AD said the same thing. We need a center because AD is not a true center. He's a floor who plays like a guard. He's a four that plays like a guard. He's not a true center. He don't want to get in there and bump and bang. That's not his game. And he's been saying for the longest, get us a true center. Instead of doing that, what did y'all do? Traded for Luka Doncic. Cool. I'm not mad at the Luka move, but the elephant in the room is still in the room.
Yeah.
we still
Yeah.
don't we still don't have a true center. We're like, there's still problems. So if I'm Braun, yeah, I'm gonna opt in. Yes, I'm gonna opt in.
There's
But I'm
still
also gonna see what
problems.
moves you. There's still problems. The elephant is still yet present in the room.
And Luca's the elephant. He needs to lose weight, bro. What are we talking about? Like
But
he's
and
that's another
yes,
aspect to
yes,
this. Like Luke,
yes,
and that's
yes.
they're banking on it. Like some of LeBron's
Mm-hmm,
healthy habits, some of his
mm-hmm.
mentality.
Yes.
Luca. I mean, Luca worships
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, so hopefully
Yes.
that is something that he takes in.
And in
Um,
Luca's defense, like I've seen him recently, he looks a lot slimmer. He looks
yep,
like he's lost at least 20 pounds. From being out, like move, like how just people have caught him out, and he looks a lot more thin. The only thing still, I know Luca's not gonna be a Tony Allen type of defender. He's not gonna be a Raja Bell. He's not gonna be what's another
great name
really good,
drops.
like a Kawhi Leonard. Like
Yeah,
he's not gonna be one of those. I just don't want you to be a cone drill. Like, at least try, like, and make it look good. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like,
He's a wall.
at
He
least
can be
be
like use your body. Use your
something
body.
something of substance.
Yeah.
So, that's my only thing, because like that's his biggest flaw is defense. Like, offensively he can do everything. But on defense, you are somebody that what how people used to do Steph, how they used to seek Steph out, they do the same thing for Luca.
Yep.
Get Luca on a
It's
switch, get him on the island, have your way. And
exactly what
and
the
I
T-Wolves did.
that's exactly what they did. It's textbook. And then after they figured out, okay, so they're gonna send Luca some help. Cool. They don't got no center. We got Rudy Gobert. We got Nas, what is it, Nas Reed? I think, yeah, Nas. We got
Yes.
Nas Reed. So all we gotta do is yeah, like, come on, man, like, you gotta do something. You
You
gotta do
know who
something.
needs a true center? Mr. Sabonis.
Yes,
That's who needs a true
absolutely, a
center. Because
thousand percent
and it
agreed.
needs to be a center that can shoot the three, so it's not the same type of, like the Miles Turner Giannis combination, which we'll get to that in a
Mhm.
moment. Like that's actually, I think, going to work
Yeah, yeah.
really well, and people are kind of
Mhm.
underrating
Mhm.
how that's going to
Mhm.
turn out. Someone like the Lakers, they got. We'll get to 8-2, but bringing someone like that, the
Mhm.
Kings need a true five because Sabonis is not a true five. When Harrison Barnes was your
No,
four, that doesn't make any sense. So, and yeah, I'm gonna start
no,
getting
no.
emotional.
You're right.
We
You're
don't need,
absolutely right.
man.
Well,
It's
listen,
frustrating being a
listen. We
Kings
we
fan.
we need a
Is
whole Sacramento Kings podcast. Yes, we need a whole pod just dedicated to Sacramento Kings.
a therapy
Period. Because we
session,
will be all
please.
day talking about the game. Yeah,
Therapy, man, and we need it.
yeah,
I I know
for
you
sure.
need it too,
We
more than
do.
me.
We
I
do.
did because
Man,
you
listen
still
to,
be in the
hey,
trenches.
bro. Listen, they took me through it this last season, but we'll get there in due time. In due
Yeah,
time.
that's good stuff. All right, let's thank you for your spiel on LeBron. Just to tie a cherry or put a cherry on that.
Of
He's still
course,
a top 20 NBA
100%,
player. So, I see these
100%.
players that aren't in the top 20 getting these ridiculous contracts, and it's like, you know what? This dude is still a GOAT. He's still a difference maker. He made
Yes,
second All
yes,
NBA team. So if he wants
yes.
to sign that contract, I'm not going to give him shit for it. Uh, but I do
Like,
understand that maybe he could have taken a pay cut, but at the same time, who the hell's going to turn down $52.6 million?
At 40
Just,
years old and I'm still
and
averaging 27 points? No. The answer is simply no. Get
that's
me
called
some
bad
help.
business.
You literally give me some help. You are the Los Angeles Lakers. You have the pocketbook is expensive. Stop being cheap. Go spend some money. Get me some help in here, and I'll bring you another championship. Period. Point blank. End of discussion.
Period. Miles Turner to Milwaukee. Now, this
Mm,
came with some
mm,
crazy drama because it's not just,
mm,
oh, cool, they signed Miles Turner. It's they signed Miles Turner
mm.
and then waived and stretched Damian Lillard, and now he's no longer on
Damn.
the team, which I didn't even know that was a possible thing you could do in the NBA. That
I
was
didn't. I didn't either. I was caught off guard with that too.
I can't think of another situation like this in our lifetime of watching basketball, at least. Maybe I'll have to look in the history records of a team doing something. I mean, there's buyouts, but this wasn't even a buyout. This was a, hey, we'll pay for your vacation and your healing, basically. And thanks for
Hmm.
being a contributor to the
Hmm.
Milwaukee Bucks. Bye. And Dame shouldn't be
Hmm.
mad about it. So
Pretty much. Pretty much.
what did you think of the addition with Turner, with Giannis, and then the follow up? Where do you think Dame should go when he's ready to come back?
I was shocked, honestly, really shocked that the Milwaukee Bucks chose this route and chose waiving Dame because I don't think that Dame and Giannis got enough time together to really see what they could be as a team. Because either Giannis was hurt or Dame was hurt. And then it was like, like it was just like they never really got to be cohesive. So I was really surprised that is the decision that they decided to make. But at the same time, Dame is in his 30s and he just tore his Achilles.
He's getting a lot
Granted,
of
the
money.
technology and stuff is a lot better as far as a lot of as far as the recovery, but still, it is an Achilles injury, and everybody ain't KD. Everybody ain't gonna come back like KD did. So I understand them being more cautious and saying, if we can move him, like you said, move him now, save some money, and try to bring somebody opposite to Giannis, then let's try to do that. But herein lies my concern. Where's your guard play? Because you just got rid of a good 25 to 27 point guaranteed.
Yeah.
Like you got that. So what? So what's the decision making with your guard play? Because Giannis is Giannis. He's amazing, but he ain't no point guard. He ain't no point forward. You know what I'm saying? I don't really trust Giannis with his handle. He's not a Kevin Durant. He's not a KG. He's not a Tim Duncan. He's not a AD. As far as the handle, where I can really, what I'm saying, get my own
He
shot.
can't
Like,
he can't make those bank shots. No.
no. His game is power and finesse. And if I can get a guard that can get me in those right spots where I got the mismatch, that's where he is at his greatest. So that's my concern with Milwaukee. It's like I understand the Miles Turner move, like that's cool to opposite Giannis, but what's the guard play situation?
Right.
Who do you got? Who you got feeding them the ball?
It seems like a desperate, if I dare use that word, move
Mm-hmm.
because, well,
Mm-hmm.
Milwaukee is kind of desperate. And Giannis
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of anxiety of Giannis,
Mm-hmm.
is he going to leave? When's he going
Yeah.
to demand? Because he's
Yeah.
got all the power, as he should
Yeah.
have all the
And he has a
power.
wandering eye. He has a wandering
Yeah.
eye. Like he's made it apparently clear. He's made it abundantly clear. His eye is wandering. So he's looking at other situations for sure.
And there's not a single team that if they could trade for him, they would trade for him. In a heart, that's one of
What?
those players. He's
Why
top
not?
five. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? I don't even think Giannis is 30 yet.
No, he's about to be, I think, but still, he's
Yeah,
got a lot of
he's
prime in him.
yeah, prime. He's got a lot of prime left. So yes, any team would be over the moon to have Giannis. So if I'm Milwaukee, I'm applying pressure on. I don't know what guards are available, but you better find something. Because if you don't find something that makes sense, he leaving. I can
Last
guarantee you
year,
that.
Giannis averaged over 30 points. He averaged over 11 rebounds. He averaged over seven
Mm-hmm.
assists, a very underrated stat. And then he averaged over a block a game. That is
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous numbers. And if his Milwaukee
Yes.
Bucks
Yes.
with Dame were a top three team, he probably would have gotten more MVP votes, but he
Mm-hmm.
didn't.
Mm-hmm.
This is a big year
Mm-hmm.
for Giannis. Not and
Mm-hmm.
also Coach Doc Rivers, high key, because he's got to figure it
Mm-hmm.
out. Otherwise,
Yeah.
this is going to be another team that's
Yeah.
going to be like, all right, Doc, we're going to let you go mid-season because you're not,
Mm-hmm.
he's the next to go.
Yep. You're
Honestly, I
not
think so.
producing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree
So
with you. If they're not top in the East, it's gonna be scary hours for Doc. Not only for Doc Rivers, but for the Milwaukee Bucks as well. Because Giannis is gonna like he's still gonna show up because that's the kind of athlete he is. Like he's still gonna put the uniform on, do whatever his job requires for the night. Like he's gonna give his best. But trust and believe mentally, he gonna check out, and he gonna be looking at what his next options are.
is Dame going to join Mr. Curry and go back home and play in the Bay Area? Like, do you see that being a
I
possibility if the Warriors are in the right position? Butler, Curry, Dame. Is it because you don't want to think that?
I
Is it?
absolutely it's not even that I don't want to think that because I know that that's a possibility. Like at this point, nothing in the NBA surprises me. But
Yeah,
I'm looking at Dame at what kind of competitor he is, and the being that he's never defeated Steph. Like when people like look look at it like this. When it
facts.
comes to the KD situation, right? At least KD had good battles against Steph, competitive battles against Steph, where times where he got the better of Steph Curry teams.
Yeah,
Dame is like 0 and 10 versus Steph. Like he's never gotten the better of Steph. And if you join him, we all know what the narrative is going to be. You trying to cakewalk to a ring, and
sure.
still that doesn't make sense for the Warriors because they don't have inside presence anymore. Because he's Draymond, but he's slowing down. He's older. He's not as effective as he used to be. They got rid of Kevon Looney. They're looking at getting rid of Kaminga. So fine, you get Dame, but what you getting back for him?
Right,
Are you
right.
addressing the issues that are you addressing your elephants in the room? Because there's elephants in the room for the Warriors too.
Yeah. Well, we will see where Dame ends up.
Yeah,
But I think
yeah,
it's gonna be a minute. So let's
yeah,
let that
yeah,
simmer. We only got
yeah.
a few more minutes here.
Hmm.
So I want to leave I want to leave you with this question, Sensei.
Okay.
James Harden with the Clippers. Extension, that's great. I don't know if they were necessarily enthusiastic about giving Mr. Harden this extension, especially because
Hmm.
he didn't show up again in a game 7
Again,
again.
again,
But
again,
when
again.
him and Kawhi were clicking, it was pretty
They were
damn good
clicking.
basketball.
It was,
Um,
yeah. Hmm.
and they signed Brooke Lopez. Lakers signed Mr. Ayton. So, which of those two
Hmm.
centers do you think will be a more impactful signing? Ayton Lakers, Brooke Lopez Clippers.
I'm gonna go Brooke Lopez Clippers because I don't believe in Aiden. I don't. I wasn't
Damn.
happy about the Lakers getting Aiden. I don't. I've seen too many times and too many scenarios where he's been in really good spots and he has not proven up to his potential. Like physically, he's gifted. Mentally, it's in the dream. Like, and we all know to be at least a good, competent basketball player, they have to marry. Like they have to meet in the middle. And to
Yeah.
me, for Aiton, it just doesn't meet in the middle. But Brooke Lopez has proven himself in every situation, time and time again. He is reliable. Like you know what you're gonna get out of him. You're gonna get defense. You're gonna get rebounds. You're gonna get 3 point shooting. You're gonna get passing. This is a consistent. It don't matter where he goes. You get that every single time. So I'm gonna say the Clippers with Aiden, but not with Aiden. I'm sorry, the Clippers with Brooke Lopez. But the Clippers still got James Harden, and it's
Yep.
gonna look pretty. It's gonna look sexy in the regular season. It ain't gonna look like that in the playoffs. We've seen it time and time again. Unless he gets an anomaly and it happens, something happens different, it's gonna be the same. It's gonna be the same thing. And you need him to be him, but he just doesn't. It doesn't fold. It just doesn't curl over. I'm sorry, it just doesn't.
I'm very fascinated to see how this Clippers team does because if they're not
Hmm.
doing as well, maybe those are some players that people will call and be like,
Hmm.
"Hey, is this
Yeah,
person available?" Because they got a
available.
lot of
Yeah.
key
Hmm.
assets, and if
Hmm.
it's not clicking, then management might
Hmm.
just be like, "All right, then we got to
Let's make
build
some
from
moves.
scratch."
Yeah.
Yep.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
well, thank you for coming on, Sensei. It was great
Of
seeing
course,
you.
man.
We're gonna do this soon. Queen versus King
Yes, we lock it back in.
podcast.
We back in
And
action.
yeah, it's great to be back in action with you. And thank you for
Yeah,
watching, folks.
same, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah, we out this thing. Let's do it.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen?